Hey everybody, you're listening to Believe It or Not.
That's right, and this is what we call a warning.
Content warning.
There may be swearing.
Swears.
Maybe not, though. There
Blasphemy.
could be. Yeah, all that stuff.
Thrills,
chills. And yeah, so just beware of that. If you don't like that, then find something else. If you do like that, then don't find something else.
That's right. If you don't like that, take a walk, pal. Hey. Rate us 5 stars.
I got hymns here. Get them while they're holy. Fresh from God's brain to your mouth.
He's God here in this radio station. Smite me! Almighty smiter!
The Bible is black and white.
I have such doubts.
Get out of here, devil!
I'm a God. I'm not the God. I don't think.
And you will know my name is the Lord!
We're on a mission from God.
Hey everybody, welcome to Believe It or Not. I'm Trevor Poelman.
And I'm Damien Doepping.
And we're believing it, or we're not.
Or we're not.
Yeah.
You be the judge.
Write us in. Do you believe it?
I think that'd be a fun segment if
Yeah.
at the end we had people with their letters saying whether or not they think we believe it or not.
Oh yeah, that's a good, yeah. So today we went to KFC.
The Colonel.
We had some chicken.
Yes, we did.
That was very tasty. I enjoyed it. One time I was at a KFC and there was protesters outside the KFC.
Okay.
One was wearing a chicken costume and they were holding up signs that said, "Can you taste the torture or something like that, or can you taste the pain maybe?"
Yeah. Well, they say no pain, no gain, right?
That's true.
And how are you supposed to gain all that delicious flavor without a little pain?
Yeah. Do you have any kind of stances like that of like businesses you won't use for ethical or other reasons?
Yeah. There's definitely things that I won't use because of different dealings. I won't. Can we name names?
Sure.
Yeah, why not? I won't go to Good Life Fitness because they screwed me around for a good 3 months trying to cancel their membership.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if anyone wants to go there, don't.
Yeah.
They're horrible people.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I've
not
heard
everyone's
that.
horrible.
Yeah. but a horrible company, horrible business practices.
Yeah, things like that. There's probably a few other products that I can't even think
Yeah.
of. You know, ones where you hear about it and you're like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I used to not buy lottery tickets because I saw so many like people in my small town who would like that was their retirement plan and it just made me sad.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to do that.
That's
I
take the odds away from
now
them.
buy them once in a while.
Yeah.
But let's see what else. I probably wouldn't go to Chick-fil-A. I've never been.
I have been, actually.
Is it good? Is it really good?
It was all right.
Yeah.
I mean, this was before I knew about all the weird stuff, too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get in there before.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's okay then.
Oh, I wish I remember what Toronto comedian it was. If anybody knows who had this bit, please let us know.
Yeah.
He was talking about how he really likes Burger's Priest.
Yep.
The Toronto-based burger joint. That is amazing.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like one of my favorites. But he was talking about how much he loves it, but there's always long lines.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, but it is a religious company, so I'm hoping that somebody there says something homophobic so that people boycott it and I can get in and out faster.
I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, too, in situations like that, you'll get a lot of people boycotting it, but then you're just going to get the worst people going there all the time.
It's true.
The ones who are going to be okay with it. It's like, that, I said nothing wrong.
Have you seen any videos of like Chick-fil-A Day when people went in?
No.
Like whole church groups went in to like show their support.
Oh,
for
I thought this was
Chick-fil-A.
going to be like 7-Eleven Day where you bring in whatever container you want to fill a Slurpee. but you like bring it in and you get as many chicken sandwiches as you can fit.
Oh no, it was awful. Like hymns broke out and like we shall overcome or whatever, and like different songs like that, and like
I find it really funny that I don't know if you'd call it brand loyalty or just this kind of standing up for a corporation like that. It's a little weird.
It's weird. But because Christians and other religious people, not just Christians, but aren't strangers to boycotting.
Oh no.
No, they love their boycotts.
I'm not surprised by that. Point in case, the Harry Potter books.
Yeah. Yep, Harry Potter was a very
That
very
was
big
one
Yeah.
I remember. I remember when I was a kid when it was happening and being very confused by it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what's the big deal?
So yeah, I was gonna I made a list here of different companies and things that have been boycotted for religious reasons. And we'll go through that today.
Is it a top 10 list? Or
It's not a top 10 list. It's just a kind of a
just a
list
rough-
of some things I found. But I was gonna do books, but there's just too many.
There's
I
a
was
lot
like,
of
that's
books.
its own list. Like a banned book list is its own.
Well,
so.
there are a lot of things about banned books. I'm pretty sure there's a list that you can find where it's like a reading list of all the banned books.
And well, it's at the time of our recording, so this will show people how long ago we recorded, but it was Banned Book Week.
Okay.
And
was
so
not aware of
libraries
that.
feature
Right,
banned
yeah.
books. But there's been organizations like Christian organizations that have been trying to get libraries to ban certain books from the banned book promotion.
It's so dumb.
It's like, do you not get the point of this?
My problem with it is just if you think a book is bad, just don't
Yeah.
read the book.
Yeah. My favorite was Fahrenheit 451 when it was banned.
There's no reason for that book to be banned.
Yeah, and
Have you
it's
read it?
about how. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And it's because one of the books they burned was the Bible. But the whole point of the book was that it's bad to burn books, so they were saying it's bad to burn the Bible too. So,
Well, then it wasn't like Salman Rushdie's book, The Satanic Verses.
Satanic Verses,
which
yeah.
really had nothing to do with Satan or anything.
No.
But I think it was more to do with the fatwa that was against him, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Because he
yeah.
said some things, and then
There was
the
a-
church,
There's this podcast called God Awful Movies where they review bad Christian and religious movies, but there's a Muslim movie where Salman Rushdie is the main villain.
it's
Yeah.
such a blatant case of anti-intellectualism.
Yeah.
And just kind of head in the sand. We believe this, so no one else should.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy that people kind of fall into these traps.
Yeah. So let's talk about some companies that have been boycotted
For sure.
by religious groups. P&G,
Procter.
company I used to work for, Procter and Gamble.
Okay.
They've been boycotted a couple times, but the main one in the 80s and early 90s was because of rumors that they were a satanic company. Because of the satanic panic, people looked at their symbol, which is moon and stars, and their old symbol, and like I think it has a certain amount of stars, like based on the certain amount of founders.
people thought it was,
And people thought that was a satanic symbol. And then this flyer started going around saying that the CEO of Procter and Gamble went on Donahue to say to come out of the closet as a Satanist and say that his money goes to satanic rituals.
I mean, that seems like a very 80s daytime talk show host. It's like, I'm a CEO of a big company and a Satanist.
Yeah. I've heard rumors, though, that it was actually started by Amway. I don't know if that's true.
The rumor?
The rumor.
Oh, I can totally believe that.
because they're like a Christian-owned company, so they were trying to say, don't buy from a Satan company, buy from a Christian company.
And of course, people are going to be like, oh, I don't like Satan.
Yeah. I read an article, like the article I found for this one was actually from 91, and where they were talking about this flyer going around and how this guy won't buy it. And then they're like, we reached out to the CEO and hires up at Procter and Gamble, and basically they said this is the most ridiculous thing we've ever heard. And we're not going to comment.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I
Yeah.
mean, something like this where a boycott is just based on because you think they might be a Satan company is totally cuckoo bananas.
Yeah, and they definitely never went on Donahue.
No, unlike something like today, like say Nestle.
Yeah.
Where those people are genuinely evil lizard people.
Exactly.
Who should be boycotted,
Yeah.
but it's almost impossible to fully
it's
boycott
true.
them because they own so many.
Kit Kats are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They own so many brands
It's true.
too that you
Yeah.
don't even know.
Yeah.
But, a company who doesn't think that water is a basic human right, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Starbucks has been boycotted.
I can believe that.
Many times.
Because the anti-Christmas stuff.
Anti-Christmas stuff.
That is the biggest load of horse shit.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. There's
another company I worked for and you also worked for.
Yeah. And this has nothing to do with us working there.
Yeah.
It's just, what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. And have you ever seen that Josh Pearson video? I think we talked about it actually a couple weeks ago on the Christmas
we
episode.
may have,
Yeah.
yes.
But yeah, it is so funny. Yeah, just how angry and
Yeah, because we were.
Yeah.
And then we were saying, stopping you from celebrating Christmas or saying Merry Christmas to anyone. Nobody is stopping you.
Yeah. The most recent boycott, though, for Starbucks wasn't really religious-based. It wasn't really religious groups. I guess all companies always have some sort of boycott going on.
Yeah.
But it was because in Philadelphia with the racist manager or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. See, with something like that, I don't know if you can necessarily boycott the company as a whole.
And I
it
feel
seems like an
the-
isolated incident more than anything.
And the way they responded, I thought, was really good.
Yeah, they did quite a bit with regards to that to kind of avoid that PR shitstorm that would have been.
Yeah.
It just seems like you had a manager who was racist.
Yeah.
And did not handle a situation well and made a situation out of something that shouldn't have been
exactly
one to begin with.
They've also been boycotted for standing for LGBT rights and making statements saying that, like, you know, they support LGBT rights. Their benefits will extend to LGBT partners, things like that.
As they should.
Yeah. I remember years ago I got a message or somebody posted on Facebook to dump your coffee from Starbucks and stop going to Starbucks because of this. And I commented, I'm like, well, I'm going to get up now and go to Starbucks, but first I'm unfriending you. And also for supporting refugees. After the Muslim ban, Schultz.
They were doing an
Uncle
initiative to hire a bunch of refugees.
And a number of religious groups boycotted.
I don't understand the LGBT thing. I don't understand that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally wrong.
Yeah.
But when you go to like the refugee side, a whole part of a lot of religions is charity, right?
Yeah.
And helping those less fortunate, helping the poor, and helping all that stuff. By denying refugees these opportunities and helping them get out of a situation which is very clearly bad. They're not just bringing over people for no reason. These are people coming from countries that a lot of bad shit is happening.
Exactly.
They've been vetted. They've gone through the system, and now we're trying to aid somebody.
Yeah.
Yet for some reason, it goes against your values. It's fucking bananas that people think that this is an okay thing to say.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I'll disagree with a number of things in the Bible, but it's very clear throughout the whole thing that to help strangers in your land and help the refugee, and it just like I think it's pretty clear in there that you're supposed to help them.
That being said, I know there are definitely probably issues regarding immigrant reform and refugee kind of things, the way things are done, and I can see why people would have issues with that.
Yeah.
That being said, there are people here, and we should probably do something about it.
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever been to Sweet Jesus Ice Cream?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, they've been trying to move into the States.
I heard about this, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of boycotts there, and people saying that they shouldn't be allowed and that it's blasphemous, and they're like, their statement was basically like, well, we made the ice cream and someone said, Sweet Jesus, that's good, and we just knew we had a name for the company. Like, it wasn't...
cares?
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest problem with most of this stuff is none of this affects your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Why do people care so much about this stuff?
Yeah.
It's like, you might not like these things, but you're doing by going out of your way to say, no, this is bad.
Yeah.
You're making it a part of your life.
Yeah, exactly.
If you just let these people live their lives and do their things, it has no effect on you whatsoever.
And I think there is a lot of evil stuff in the world, or maybe evil's not the right word, but there's a lot of bad stuff in the world.
Things, yeah.
And I don't think that ice cream shop should be the worst of your concerns.
You don't like it, don't go there.
Yeah. A lot of these boycotts are organized by a company called, or an organization called the American Family Association.
Aren't these guys just a huge piece of trash?
Yeah.
From what I've heard?
Yeah. And they also have a kind of a subgroup that they started called 1 Million Moms. Which which is really funny because their Facebook page has never reached 1 million people.
I don't know what this is, but I can tell right now it's horrible.
Yeah, they're the worst. But American Family Association organized a boycott. I keep saying ban, but a boycott of Target last year or a couple years ago for introducing transgender inclusive policies when it comes to the restrooms. So they basically made a statement because there was so many like local like politicians and stuff trying to pass bathroom bills that they came out in support of.
Yeah.
Use the bathroom. Like if you have to take a poop, you can poop wherever you want.
Exactly. Who cares?
Yeah.
I think one of the arguments I've heard for the who cares is just like the people who are so like against this are. It's just like what are you afraid is going to happen?
Yeah.
Like these people aren't there to bother you.
No.
They're there to use the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not there to like be perverts or do weird things to you. They're used to use the toilet.
Yeah.
Get over yourself. Nobody wants to steal your child or molest you. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah. Have you do you know who Franklin Graham is? We talked about him, Billy Graham's son?
We might have. Yes.
Okay.
I remember Billy Graham, but I don't know,
so it's his son. He's like worse than Billy Graham. Like he's
the distilled version of...
Yeah, just a piece of crap. Mm-hmm. But he was one of the big proponents of that boycott too. And I think there was something too about they stopped having separate like gendered toys. So they didn't have like a boys' toy section and a girls' toy section. They just had a toy section. And people were up in arms about that.
Why?
I don't know. Like...
I feel like I'm being very redundant this episode and just saying, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. I think we're going to have a lot of
who cares. Oh my God. It's just, why is this a problem for you people?
Disney's another one that's been boycotted a lot. Actually, I had some fun and just looked at the hashtag boycott Disney, and there's 1,000 reasons to boycott Disney.
I'm sure there are. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that they've done. They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Exactly, who own a bunch of other
there's gotta be some shit they're involved in. I'm not surprised.
So they probably have some strange dealings and stuff, but I remember when I was a kid, I think it was 2020 or something like that, did a thing about how a lot of Baptist churches at the time, and probably other churches too, wouldn't support anything Disney because they had an LGBT day at the park. And once a year they would have like a special like gay day or whatever that they called it.
Yeah.
Canada's Wonderland does that here too.
So
once a year. If you don't like that, then don't go that day.
I'm sure it's probably the funnest
day of the year.
Target, don't go to the washroom at Target.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's been other reasons, other movies and stuff. One of the things I saw though on Twitter was that Frozen tries to teach girls that they don't need a strong male role model.
And that's a bad thing. Why?
Because they say it's like tearing down the family. So a family is a mom and a dad and kids.
That's very depressing. Yeah, this is something that people are still
they care about. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not surprised that there's a lot of older people who probably still have those beliefs. I'm more sad that I know that there's a lot of young people who.
Oh, there definitely are. Yeah. Do you remember when Duck Dynasty was canceled for a while?
Yeah.
And people were outraged about that, and there was boycotts of A&E.
Yeah.
As a result of that. I feel like there was over 1 million signatures on. There was 2 petitions, change.org and istandwithphil.com, because he made homophobic, like disgusting homophobic, like not just I don't like gay people, which is bad enough, but like disgusting, graphic,
My
detailed.
thing is just like if you're going to make like comments like that, you should be fired.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not something I mean, you work for a corporation, right? Like, I mean, if I was at my job and then I started like throwing around racial slurs, if I got fired, I should be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you have some representation towards these people who are paying you all this money.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I think there's some responsibility and as such should be some consequence, but people are.
I lost a Facebook friend over that too, actually.
you are really good at having people who have a lot of these beliefs and just losing them.
And then they're gone. Yeah.
I don't think I'm not really that active on Facebook, so I don't really have this problem, which is kind of nice.
I get too emotional online.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I definitely have people who annoy me, and I kind of keep them around just so I can get angry at them every once in a while.
I saw one today. It was a picture of a poppy, and it said, if this offends you, then you should get out of our country.
What?
And I was like, is that a problem?
Who's offended by that?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was really weird.
That's very strange.
That was yeah. So that was over 1 million.
Wasn't there was the other there was an A&E, I think it was 18 Kids and Counting. That one wasn't one of the sons like molesting the one of the younger kids too.
He was molesting his younger sisters, and he and then there was other stuff too where he cheated on his wife with like using Ashley Madison and paying porn stars and stuff. And
right, because it was I think it was right after the Ashley Madison breach that came out, wasn't it?
Yeah. So at first it came out that he was molesting his sisters and some of the neighbor girls, and then it came out that he was cheating on his wife. And he was like the president of some family association at the time.
And they were a huge Mormon family.
Right? They were Quiverful.
One of those.
Yeah.
Midwestern.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, that was just a little tangent. The Duck Dynasty made me think of that. I don't know if it was related. It's just reality show.
Yeah, related. That one was canceled under controversy too, but I don't think that one had as many protesters because it might have. There could have been some boycotts.
I feel like it's a harder one to be like, we support him.
Yeah. There's also HGTV. They canceled the show.
Well, I'm not surprised. Yeah. Maybe 10 years ago when it was more just Home and Garden.
Yeah, but no, this was a home repair show. They canceled before it aired because it turned out that one of the hosts had said some pretty horrifying homophobic stuff.
Yeah.
And then it turns out his dad was also a preacher who preached like really hateful stuff.
That tracks then. I mean, you shouldn't be surprised.
Would protest mosques and stuff.
Oh.
Just for existing. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that they're like, religious freedom. He should be able to say what he wants. Yeah. But this religion shouldn't exist in the same neighborhood.
I don't know. It's just, come on, guys. Why is this a problem? I have this sometimes with certain family members where they'll bring something up. It's like, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
Why is that important?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I just noticed. I'm like, yeah. The person was maybe a jerk or an asshole to you or rude.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with whatever else you're bringing about this.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
usually what happens.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you have to make it this?
Yeah.
You don't.
Exactly.
It's just another thing for you to fixate on. And it's just like, come on.
Geico. Mm-hmm. I was trying to find the right
commercial.
commercial.
We were watching a few earlier.
Yeah, so the pig, Maxwell the pig. He's a talking pig who gets in wacky
I do remember
situations.
Those commercials, yeah.
There was one where he happened to have a wife. Mm-hmm. And she was a woman, a human woman, and there was just some comedy thing about.
Yeah, it's a joke commercial.
Yeah, so 1 Million Mums comes along. And
they were boycotting Geico.
And says Geico promotes bestiality, so therefore everybody boycott Geico.
What?
Yep.
I can think of a few things where there's Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Roger Rabbit was married to Jessica Rabbit. Nobody cared about that.
Kermit the Frog is married to a pig. That's true. Two different species.
Is that bestiality?
No, I guess they're both beasts.
It's okay if they're both beasts.
Pig-stiality. Frog-stiality.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's one of those.
Well, they say frog's legs taste like chicken, so think about that.
Oh, that's true. 1 Million Mom strikes again. JCPenney.
Oh, what did JCPenney do?
They hired Ellen as their spokesperson.
Ellen
DeGeneres.
One of the most popular daytime TV show
one of the most beloved people.
Yeah.
Most
because
positive because she's gay.
Because she's gay.
Yeah. So Ellen actually went on the show and read some of the comments, and she pointed out too. She's like 1 million moms. So we got 4,000 subscribers.
I want to know how many moms watch Ellen now.
Yeah. It's all moms in the audience, right?
No, totally.
Yeah.
That's great. It's great when you can have something like that where you can see people are kind of moving past their prejudices.
Yeah.
Or never had them to begin with, but you know what I'm saying. It's normalizing something that should be normal.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Burger King was boycotted.
BK. What'd they do?
They had advertisements on television.
That's it?
During primetime shows that some organization called Clear TV thought were inappropriate.
Whoa.
So just because Burger King had ads that ran at these times, they called for a giant boycott of Burger King. This was in 1990, and it was to the point where Burger King put out full ads in different newspapers across the country apologizing and saying they respect family values.
Well, so Was it the commercial they didn't like, or
It wasn't the commercial. It was just the time slot and the channel they were airing. So they never revealed what shows they had a problem with. It was just that they called for a boycott of Burger King until they pulled certain ads.
Okay, this one is absolutely. This doesn't make any sense.
No, I found this one today, and it was, I think, a New York Times article or something like that from 1990 that I found.
That talked about it? Did they say how ridiculous this was?
I think they were sort of implying, yeah.
Because it just sounds like an organization that's just trying to strong-arm a company off the
and they said they had a
reason.
list of... This organization had a list of companies that they were boycotting, but wouldn't release the list except for to say Burger King was the number one.
So clearly someone had a bad experience.
How do you boycott something and not tell people to boycott it?
Yeah,
like, are you just boycotting?
Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
The NFL recently has been boycotted.
Yeah.
And Nike
for
dumb
kneeling. Reasons.
Yeah. Because people went on their knees.
That's a whole other thing,
too.
Like, first of all, you don't have to stand for the national anthem. You don't have to play the national anthem before sporting events.
No.
It's not like you have to do this or anything.
Yeah.
It's just some weird tradition that people do. Kaepernick, too, I know he spoke with veterans to find out what the most respectful way to protest during the national anthem was.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And the veterans saying that kneeling was the best, because he was just going to apparently just like sit down and not get up. But they said kneeling is actually a much more respectable way to do this.
Yeah.
So not only did he do it in a respectful way, he talked to veterans about what's the best way to not disrespect people.
Yeah.
And he didn't even say anything.
Yeah.
And then people are mad because he's protesting against police brutality against minorities. Like, how can you? Yeah. How can you be mad about that? It's just putting your head in the sand and just trying to ignore these issues because it's interrupting my Sunday football. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, this shit exists. This is real life stuff.
Yeah.
And I've heard my dad make this argument. I don't know if he's going to listen to this, but he's kind of like, well, it's their job. They should get fired. Like, no. I mean, like, so?
Yeah.
It's not interrupting the game, first of all.
Yeah. If my job told me I had to stand up and sing "O Canada" before each shift, I would be like, "Oh, no, thank you." No. Like,
not at all. You can't
not on my watch.
You can't make me do that. Again, it's against freedom of speech, I think, especially in the States.
Oh, man, my brother used to work at Walmart.
Is it not?
What's that?
It's freedom of expression.
I think so, yeah.
The laws are a little different over here. I just don't know exactly what you would designate it as. But it's definitely not freedom of speech.
No. But my brother used to work at Walmart, and they used to have to do these, like, happy cheers at the end of their shift. Like, they all stand in a circle, and I would watch because I'd pick them up from work, and I'd watch. I'm like, no, I can't. I would be like,
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Like, what's that supposed to do?
It's like a cult kind of activity.
Yeah, because I knew these guys who sold encyclopedias too, and back in the day, not encyclopedias. Kids' encyclopedias.
This sounds like a weird setup for a joke.
Yeah,
I knew this guy who sold encyclopedias.
They would get up at 5:30 in the morning, and they would do these chants to like get them ready for this day. And weird. So strange. But no, I wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't sing "O Canada" before a shift.
No.
What I do before our shift is drink a coffee and talk about how bad it's going to be today.
That's fair. I mean, if you want to stand and sing the national anthem, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with being proud of where you live.
Exactly. Yeah,
and the country you have.
That's true.
But when you just start doing it every time because people say you have to, that's when it just starts becoming mindless nationalism.
Yeah,
that's when you're not. You're putting this above everything else for the sake of falling in line, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just blindly following authority with no real reason to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, come on, people, think for yourselves.
Yeah.
Have a moment. I feel like such an asshole saying think for yourselves. I kind of immediately regret saying it.
But no, it's true. Like, because my thing is, I don't really like blind patriotism. I like the country I live in. I like a lot of things about the country I live in, but I also have some issues with it.
It's dangerous. It's very dangerous because that's when you start getting into that. I mean, that's how dictatorship starts.
Yeah,
that's how fascism starts. When you start putting an abstract idea of a nation above people.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we should hope a democracy would be, is where it's something where we should be thinking about the individuals who build up this nation. And I don't know.
Didn't speaking of Canada, I mean, I didn't put any Westboro Baptist boycotts on here because that was ridiculous. But I think they did boycott Canada.
Thing. I can believe that. I can totally
Which it's like,
that.
what are there 12 people in that church? Yeah, we're good.
I'm sure there's probably a few boycotts after the whole weed legalization.
That's
came
true.
into effect too.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a few things regarding that.
Yeah.
I know border security, I think, in the States apparently has been tightening up, and they're saying even if you've like used marijuana in the last year or whatever, they might not let you in.
That's insane.
Yeah,
a legal thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
So
when they have certain states that are legal,
they might say, "Have you ever smoked marijuana?" And you say, "Like, yeah, who cares?" And they're like, "Well, we can't let you in."
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel really bad that I keep doing the Southern accent when I'm talking about. Cody and I have been watching a lot of Justified.
Oh,
so I just keep defaulting to it, and I'm defaulting it to it in a very bad way. I'm not trying to say that this is what I think these people sound like.
That's funny. I was going through the border once into Montana, and they kind of interrogated us, and they like poked holes in the seats in the car and stuff to check for drugs.
Did they actually?
Yeah, and they so they asked us if any of us had smoked pot. I said no because at that point I hadn't. But it was also 5 o'clock in the morning. My friends woke me up when we were getting to the border. I was just wearing a light jacket and it was like freezing out. It was like early in the morning, cold. And so I was kind of shaking. So they thought I was like...
Oh, but you were just cold?
Yeah, I was just cold, but they thought I was like out of my mind. And so they put me in this small room and they gave me
Did you warm up?
Shit. Oh, I warmed up.
Did they check up the...
They did.
Did they actually?
No. They
okay, that would have been something I didn't know about you.
Like the time I went to a physical and afterwards someone's like, how was it? I'm like, he didn't even stick his finger up my butt. What's the point? I've been actually interrogated twice. So there was that time and another time when Stephen Harper was prime minister.
Yeah.
I was working in a building that he was in and I was doing a garbage run and I worked at the coffee shop upstairs. But part of his security detail were in the coffee shop for a while going through some stuff. They were meeting there. I was doing paperwork in the office the whole time they were there, so they didn't see me working. And then all of a sudden I'm wearing the uniform, taking the garbage out, going near where Stephen Harper was. So they think I took a uniform and yeah. So that was scary.
That's funny.
That's a tangent though.
That's really funny.
Speaking of blind patriotism, let's talk about some movies that people have boycotted.
Oh, this should be interesting.
This will be kind of quick fire. Last Temptation of Christ, obviously. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, it's good.
Is it good?
You know what? It's good. I saw it once in the middle of the afternoon when it was on TV, and I think I missed the beginning.
Who's in that?
Willem Dafoe plays Christ.
Oh, okay. I've heard of it. I haven't seen it, but
it's good. But he's dealing with lust, and that's kind of the main thing. So obviously, people
aren't we all?
Yeah. Life of Brian.
Oh, that one's great.
Yeah, good movie.
I can see why they would have boycotted it, but
I think nuns and monks were protesting.
I'm not I mean, it's basically poking holes in how organized religion is formed. So
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
That it could have just happened to any jerk.
Yeah, exactly.
So
The Exorcist.
I can see that because of demonic possession.
And
also, what was the line? Let Jesus fuck you. I think that was the one.
And there's also Your Mother Sucks Dicks in Hell.
Yeah, that one's.
Billy Graham said that the movie was created by demonic influences, and there was demons in each of the rules of film, like in the celluloid. He's But I used to kind of have that idea with I thought certain shows were awful, and I thought if you had if you watched them, it would allow demons into your house or whatever. I believed that stuff. But I also believed in ghosts. So
there you go. Right? I don't know. It's such a strange for a week. Yeah. I was talking about this on the other podcast I do.
Yeah.
About how just boring ghosts are.
Yeah.
How dumb. It's oh wow, you open the cupboards.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, even if you believe in ghosts, like, how shitty does your existence have to be where that's what you do?
Yeah, exactly. Dogma was boycotted. And Kevin Smith joined the protest.
Did he?
Yeah, he made a sign that said "Dogma is dog shit." Joined the protest and was interviewed on TV until people were like, "That's Kevin Smith. He directed it."
That's really funny. What do you think it was? The whole? Well, I'm sure the Buddy Jesus was.
Buddy Jesus, just the whole criticism.
Yeah, the whole
of religion.
thing was.
Yeah, Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interest. Yeah, I remember that got a lot of controversy.
I think it was more Catholic,
but I mean, it wasn't so much. It just seemed like it was like a small sect of things that were kind of covering stuff up. It didn't really. I don't know. That was a weird one.
Yeah. And then Golden Compass.
Yep.
Yeah.
His
and
Dark
not
Materials,
because they
like
added
the
that weird fight scene at the end.
It's because of the whole book series. Yeah.
It's because of the book series. The movie really
I haven't seen the movie. I heard it's not good.
Bad.
The books are very good.
The movie tones down a lot of stuff. Isn't the last name of the guy who wrote it Poelman? So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's spelled different.
Philip Poelman.
Philip Poelman. Yeah.
Have you read them?
No, I haven't actually.
I was actually surprised. They were really good when I read them like years ago. I'd like to read them again. Okay. But they were very good.
I'll give it a shot. I need a new series.
I mean, it's young adult fiction, so it's fairly easy to get through. But sometimes it's nice to have that.
Or maybe I'll get a man to read it to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You mean like an audiobook or like you want someone to follow you around?
An audiobook.
I think it'd be really funny if you just hired this guy to follow you and read a book to you, like on the subway, just whispering in your ears to not bother people.
Have you seen Maniac?
No.
So Maniac, it's the Netflix show, but it takes place in an alternate universe. Mm-hmm. And if you can't afford something, you can get an ad buddy, and it's just somebody who follows you around reading ads to you. So if you want to take a subway ride, then you'll just have to get ads read to you the whole time on the subway.
I mean, that's not too bad.
Yeah, and I was thinking it's probably just a reaction to like if you want to download an app, but you don't want to pay for it, you can get an ad version or like.
I mean, I can deal with that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Black Panther.
Really?
Yeah, because it glorifies the Black Panthers. It was this one wasn't huge. There wasn't a big call for a boycott, but there was a Facebook group by a Christian organization that said it was racist towards white people and that it was
because it had a lot of black people
glorifying the Black
in it?
Panthers. I guess so,
but that's nothing to do with what the movie was.
It's one of the funniest things though, because it got the site got overtaken by trolls, and it is so funny. Yeah, check it out. And then The Hobbit. Basically just because Peter Jackson's an atheist.
The Hobbit, really?
Because The Hobbit was written by a Christian author. Mm-hmm. And so because it was directed, even though the Lord of the Rings series had already come out, they're like, well, now we're going to boycott. There was probably boycotts for Lord of the Rings.
I'm sure there was.
Yeah, there's boycotts for everything.
The thing about that too, though, is I know J.R.R. Tolkien, he was Christian, but he dealt a lot with theology. And I know like him and C.S. Lewis, they talked a lot about it.
They had a very different perspective.
Yeah.
So C.S. Lewis wrote the Narnia saga, I guess. Chronicles of Narnia. He wrote it as kind of an analogy, right? Or what's the word I'm looking for?
Allegory?
Allegory, thank you.
Allegory.
Where Tolkien more had like themes of good and evil, but for him, I think it was more. He was just trying to create a mythology,
which is what. That's mostly what he was doing.
Yeah,
he was building a mythology, and a world, and
exactly. And he was like, it wasn't supposed to be like this equals Christ and things like that. And so they said that Peter Jackson's taken his atheism and trying to. Use his witchcraft and stuff to using it to peddle his witchcraft. It's like atheism and witchcraft are very different.
Have these people not read Lord of the Rings?
I don't think they've read
or The Hobbit. Because I mean, magic is a part of these stories.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, like Gandalf is a wizard.
Yeah.
He says he's a wizard.
Yeah. So pretty much any movie that has gay characters. There's been boycotts. Any movie that's referenced religion is going to have boycotts unless they're like explicitly religious. Beauty and the Beast was one of the ones because
the new one or the
new
cartoon?
One. Yeah, And that's 1 Million Moms was one of the big proponents of that.
What was their issue with that one?
Because not Gaston, who's the little dweeby guy that follows him around, Josh Gad's
character.
LeFou. Because he was supposed to be the first openly gay Disney character.
Right, I'd forgotten about that.
He wasn't openly gay.
No,
it was more of a kind of
implied.
offensive characterization in some ways
totally.
too.
It totally was. Yeah, I didn't find that movie that good anyway. But.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much all the. There's also TV shows like NYPD Blue. Was boycotted by the American Family Association.
Man, I'm sure there are tons that we're not even getting
There's so
started
many.
on.
And TV shows, the only other one I wrote was The Simpsons, had a few boycotts.
Oh, people hated The Simpsons for a long time.
George Bush Sr., he said something about, how it was stupid and people should be watching The Cosby Show instead. And that really,
look how that turned out.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, final one I'll mention is the Beatles.
Yeah.
Bigger than Jesus.
Oh, that's fair.
And
I'm not surprised by that because music has a long history of that as far as censorship goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the whole PMRC hearings in the 80s.
Yeah.
Because that was Tipper Gore and a bunch of the other moms. But I think that was under a pseudo-Christian
it was.
kind of way too.
Yeah. So let's, any questions about boycotts?
I don't think so. I think it's pretty apparent. And I feel like I'm just going to be saying the same things over and over again.
What's the deal?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Get over yourself.
Yeah.
It's not affecting you. That's the thing I always take from this. It's like, this doesn't affect you in any way.
Yeah. And I think what we need to do now is hit up a Christian rock lyric.
We should probably get to it.
Can't you see you're not making Christianity better? You're just making rock and roll worse.
But, the band is called For Him, the number 4, no space. Capital H-I-M.
Like a forum?
Forum. Yeah, I guess it's pronounced forum. The song's called The Basics of Life.
Okay.
I don't remember listening to this band.
Eat, sleep, breathe.
But have you ever... You've only been to church a handful of times, right?
Yeah, I could probably count.
Some churches, like the one I grew up in, we would sing like hymns and stuff, but then we would also have, when they were taking the offering, we would have special music, and that was when someone would come up and sing a solo.
Oh, okay.
Or there'd be like a quartet or something like that would come up. And I feel like this must have been a song that was sung a few times. It's it totally works for this.
I feel like this was just like, like the, when in like a game show where they have someone put on the headphones and they play like a little jingle while they're explaining to the audience what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, we've put Trevor in an isolation booth.
Or have you seen Garden State?
No.
Oh, okay, there's a scene at the beginning where they're at the funeral and the one woman singing once, twice, 3 times a lady.
Oh,
But yeah, so here's some of the lyrics from the song. The newest rage is to reason it out. Just meditate and you can overcome every doubt. After all, man is a god. They say God is no longer alive, but I still believe in the old rugged cross, and I still believe there is hope for the lost, and I know the rock of all ages will stand through changes of time. We need to get back to the basics of life. So,
all right,
we got to get rid of evil.
Yeah.
Procter and Gamble.
Yeah,
we got to get rid of evil Starbucks, and we got to get back to the basics of life.
Yeah, you want to get back to religious fiefdoms where all you do is go to church and then work the fields.
Yeah.
And you have a few nobles who are controlling your life. That's what you want.
That you want
to just be a mindless drone who goes. That's your whole life.
Yeah, I'm
whatever.
down.
Who cares? That's what. That's how I feel today. Just who cares?
Who cares?
Oh my god! If you want to get back to that, sure.
Yeah.
I don't care. Do it.
Yeah, you get back to it.
You get back to it.
Yeah.
You let me know how that goes for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on from the basics, and I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna put some whipped cream on my latte.
There you go. I feel like I live a pretty basic life too. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
All
right, everybody. If you like that, comment on YouTube. Comments, not YouTube. Yeah,
if you
can
like
comment
that,
on YouTube.
Comment on YouTube. Oh, if you like that,
yeah.
Comment. I thought you said if you like that, comment on YouTube.
If you like that comment on YouTube, I left. Let me know.
Okay.
Also, comment on iTunes and rate us.
Yeah,
and tell one of your friends about us.
Please, if every one of you tells one other person, pretty soon we'll reach the whole world.
That's right.
Yeah, but you can't tell someone who already knows. It doesn't count.
Yeah, because it only takes a spark.
You can't just be with your friend and say, hey, have you heard about this? And it's like, yeah, I heard about this. Have you heard about this? Then it doesn't count.
If they already know, it doesn't count.
Because then it just stops.
Yeah.
You want to keep this going.
Yeah.
We want to keep this going.
We want to keep it going.
We're going to set the world on fire.
Yeah. All right, bye, everybody.
Work, Sky Moon.